What's up everyone, welcome to the Verizon 200 Top 5 DFS Picks video for Sunday, July 31st at the Indy road course for our fourth road course race of the season. Not my most favorite track type, they tend to be a little bit boring to watch, but NASCAR just keeps adding them to the schedule, so we're just gonna have to deal with it. But as always, I'm your host Chris Pennell. You can find me on Twitter at ChrisPennell16, and this video is presented by PrizePicks. In today's video, we are going over general track strategy, how to approach the slate from a DFS perspective, and my top 5 favorite plays on the slate. Please keep in mind this video is being recorded pre-practice and qualifying, so some of my thoughts and opinions on these drivers could and will end up changing throughout the weekend. So making sure you're staying up to date on what happens on race weekend on Saturday and Sunday will be very beneficial to you in creating fantasy NASCAR lineups this weekend. And if you want the up-to-date info and analysis, you can find me and Jason on the Stokastic Live Before Lock show, where we break down the entire slate, answer any questions you may end up having. And as far as how we should approach this slate from a DFS perspective, road courses are a lot different than normal tracks. We're not going to get those high speeds. We're not going to be just turning laps in a left pattern. We're going to get some right turns this weekend, and we only have about 80 laps, so not many dominator points available to us. Yes, if you get the main lap leader in your lineup, that will be beneficial to you, but for the most part, I play road courses with either just finishing position in mind or some place differential mixed in. But a lot of times at the road courses so far this year, we've seen that passing is almost impossible. Yes, if you have a very fast car, you will move through the field a little bit, but man, it is really tough to pass. So the top 10, I mean, there's a good chance all those drivers do end up finishing inside the top 10 because passing has been very rough outside of drivers that are just very fast and just happen to screw up in qualifying. So something to keep in mind. A lot of the drivers starting up front have been able to finish up front at these road courses, but not really looking at dominators. Yes, again, if you start up front and you can lead some laps, that is beneficial, but I'm not really hunting lap lead points here. I am just basically trying to pick drivers that are able to finish high in this race or offer me some place differential because they were faster in practice than where they happen to qualify. So getting into the picks, we will start with number 5, and we have Chris Buescher at $7,500 on DraftKings, $7,800 over on FanDuel. It was kind of a toss-up between him or Michael McDowell because they're both very similarly priced on both sites and both have been very good at the road courses, but I gave the slight advantage here to Chris Buescher just because Michael McDowell kind of got cheating last weekend. I'm not sure that's going to affect his speed this week, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to roll with Chris Buescher here. But he's been great at the road courses. Now just finished inside the top 10 with an average running position around 10th place. He's been in the top 10 2 out of 3 times. And also one of the best driver ratings in the field at road courses so far this year, sitting right below 100 at 99.4, which is excellent for a driver at this price point. He finished 6th at Road America, 2nd at Sonoma, 21st at Coda, but I like what I've seen from him recently. And also, he's always been pretty solid at the road courses. Never really a flashy guy, but someone that's able to always get good finishes with an average finish inside the top 12 over the past couple of seasons at road courses, being in the top 20 all but one time. So I'm going to have to see where he qualifies. I don't really care where he does, though. He's going to be playable. He is top 6 in average green flag speed at the road courses this year. But I would think it'd be helpful to him if he can qualify well, because as we've seen so far this year, it's very tough to pass at the road courses. So I'm actually kind of hoping he qualifies well, because hopefully it'll lower his ownership, but it'll still be a very solid play, as I think he's going to be a top 10, top 5 contender in this race. And moving on to number 4, I think we always have to bring him up every single time at a road course, but it's AJ Allmendinger, only $8,200 on DraftKings. Pretty easy to fit in over there, but up to $11,000 over on FanDuel, so a pretty big price discrepancy there. And he's had some pretty bad luck at the road courses this year. Like if you're looking at his finishes, it doesn't look all that great. Did finish top 10 at Road America, getting 9th, but then 19th at Sonoma and 33rd at Coda. But there's kind of some, once you look past the actual finishes, you start to kind of unwrap where Allmendinger really hasn't been that bad. Like, yes, he finished 33rd at Coda, but there was a decent chance he's winning that race as he got wrecked in the last lap with Alex Bowman and Ross Chastain as they were all playing bumper cars together. Then in Sonoma, he was battling a power steering issue, which if you don't know anything about power steering at road courses, yeah, that makes your day pretty tough. But he was still sitting close to top 10 at the end of the race, or very close to the end of the race. That ended up having a spin, I believe, so ended up finishing barely inside the top 20, but he overall did not have a bad day for the issues that he was having. And then, like I said, he was able to get a top 10 at Road America, even battling, I believe it was a pit penalty. So he has not had a clean road course race this year, but if he's gonna get a clean race at some point, his green flag speed numbers really aren't that bad. They're on par with some very solid drivers this season, and it's also in the top 10, top 12. So as long as he can have a clean race, which I know hasn't happened yet, I think there's some legit top 5 upside out of Allmendinger. He's a very appealing play over on DraftKings, and he also won the Indy Road Course race last year. Now, if you remember anything about the Indy Road Course race last year, it was an absolute mess. That one curb was like a ramp, and a ton of drivers ended up wrecking out. And there was also the Denny Hamlin Chase Briscoe issue, which kind of gifted Allmendinger the win, but he was still there at the end of the race, was still running top 5. So I like him quite a bit. Just love the price over on DK FanDuel. It's a little bit tougher to get over there, but depending where he qualifies, I think he'll be a very solid play. And moving on to number 3, we're going with the Team Penske forward here. Austin Cindric at $9,100 on DraftKings, 11.5 over on FanDuel. I like his teammate Ryan Blaney as well, but Cindric's just been a little bit better finish-wise so far this season, finishing 7th at Road America, 5th at Sonoma, and 8th at COTA. And he is one of 3 drivers this year to finish in the top 10 each and every single road course race. His teammate Ryan Blaney just missed it, but he's in company with Ross Chastain and Chase Elliott, which is some pretty good company to be in. And Cindric, this is really nothing new for him. He's always been good at road courses. He had a handful of wins in the Xfinity Series at road courses, and overall just one of the better drivers at them in the field. And he's also top 4 in average green flag speed at the road courses so far this season as well. So I'm liking Cindric a lot here. I don't really care where he qualifies. He's going to be a very solid play in my opinion. He's had the speed of them so far this year. He's got the experience at road courses. He just tends to always do well with these. So I'm liking him quite a bit. Probably going to end up being more so of a tournament play, especially if he qualifies well. But I'm definitely going to try to be overweight to the field. And before we get into our next pick, I want to talk about our sponsor, PrizePicks. They offer a daily prop-based contest. So you can use promo code OSMO for a $100 first match deposit bonus. There is no sharks, optimizers, or mass entries, and 5-player lineups can add up to 10 times your entry fee. Use knowledge of multiple sports with cross-sport entries. You can download in the App Store, on Google Play, or play over on PrizePicks.com. You can use our free player prop tools to help you make the best selections. And you can get 1 free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum when you sign up and make a deposit over at PrizePicks. And you receive your email within 24 to 48 hours to receive your free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum. Then moving on to number 2, and it might surprise you that I do like him at this alleviated price point, but it's Daniel Suarez at $9,400 on DraftKings and $12,000 over on FanDuel. I'm pretty sure this is the most expensive we've ever seen Daniel Suarez, at least in the past few years. But it's hard not to like him at a road course. The Trackhouse cars have been very fast at them so far this season. Top 2 in green flag speed, both of them. And just to simply put it, I think they're probably cheating somehow, but NASCAR has not been able to figure it out yet. Obviously, JGR got busted last weekend, and then we saw Michael McDowell get hit with a fine as well and a penalty. But I mean, right now, Trackhouse just has the speed. They're super fast, and Daniel Suarez, he won the Sonoma race, finished 5th at Road America. Obviously, didn't have a great race at COTA, but I'm all here for it. I mean, there was some really tough times to pass at Road America, but I mean, really, it was just him and Chastain moving through the field. Ryan Blaney was fast as well, but you're giving me the car with the second best green flag speed at the 3 road course races this year at $9,400. Yes, it seems expensive for the driver, Daniel Suarez, but he's still barely in the top 8 for pricing. So I think that's still not really a value, but I think the pricing is fair, and I'm definitely going to take advantage of that. If people are going to be shied away from that price point, I'll be more than happy to play the second fastest driver at road courses this year at low ownership. And moving on to my favorite play for the Verizon 200 at the Indy Road Course, it's got to be Ross Chastain, $10,400 on DraftKings, $13,000 over on FanDuel. I mean, it's a toss-up between him or Chase Elliott, but I'm just going to go with the Trackhouse cars here, as they've been the 2 fastest cars at road courses so far this season. Ross Chastain was one of the few drivers that could move through the field last time we were at a road course, but he's been great at them so far this year, finishing in the top 7 each and every single time. 4th at Road America, 7th at Sonoma, and won the race early in the season at COTA. And it's kind of nice that he got wrecked by Denny Hamlin last week. Now, the funny thing was, even though he did get wrecked by Denny Hamlin ended up winning, he ended up getting the penalty after, so Ross Chastain actually still finished ahead of Denny Hamlin. So I'm not sure if we're going to get any more retaliation. Hopefully that's the end of it. Obviously, it sinks some of my lineups, which was quite unfortunate because he was doing quite well. Another race where Ross Chastain's doing well, and there happened to be an issue. But outside of any external issues like that, I mean, everything's pointing to want to play Ross Chastain this week. He's first in average green flag speed at the road courses this year. He's got the best driver rating at them, the best average finish, the best average running position, obviously 2 top 5s, and a good chunk of laps led. Not quite as high as Suarez or Chase Elliott, but still 3rd in dominator points at the road courses. So no matter where he starts, he's going to be a good play, in my opinion. Opened up with the 3rd best odds to win this race over in Vegas, which I think is fair, only behind Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson, So doesn't have quite the name value as those two at the road courses, but he's been right up there with them, if not better, this season. And if you did end up enjoying today's free content, leave a like down below, subscribe and hit the bell if you're new, and leave a comment down below telling us your 5 favorite plays heading into this weekend. And you can also follow us on Sunday for the Live Before Lock show, where me and Jason will break down the entire slate and answer any questions you may end up having post-practice and qualifying to give you that most up-to-date info and analysis. With that being said, I wish you all the best of luck this weekend, and I'm kind of looking forward to the 4th road course race of the season.